Callum, the league maybe won, but how do you approach Sunday's Old Firm game?
Yeah, it's still the same for us. Obviously, we've won the league and it's going there as champions, but we know how difficult these games are. We experienced it in December as well. When we're not quite at it, then you can get done. So for us, we're fully prepared for the game. I've trained well the last couple of days, and we're ready to go come Sunday and give a better account of ourselves than what we did.
Do you feel that this team have got a point to prove because of the result in December?
Yeah, I think so. I think as I said, we never played well enough on the day, and I think that's been burning in the players' heads since then. That when we go back there, we have to do better and get a better result. So, as I say, nice coming off the back of being champions at the weekend, but you probably couldn't have had a better game to go to Ibrox and play Rangers. So everyone's fully focused on the job.
Lots of talk this week about should Rangers honour Celtic with a guard of honour as you enter the pitch. What's your take on it?
For us, I know it's been a sort of talking point, but in the changing room, nobody's actually spoke about it. Whatever they decide to do, it's fine. We'll get on with it. We know in our own right we deserve to be champions, and that's enough for us in that dressing room that we've done the hard yards and we've became the champion again. 8 in a row. So for us, we're not too fussed whether they do it or they don't do it. I think come kick off, all the niceties will go out the window anyway, and it'll be a battle for 90 minutes. So we're prepared for that.
You've got the Scottish Cup final to prepare for as well. The manager, I suppose, will be looking at that. But is this a kind of fixture that you all want to be involved in? You don't want that rest for this one?
Yeah, of course. As I say, I think with these games, probably when you win the league, you think, 2 weeks off and then cup final. But I think, as I said there, it's probably the best game you can have. Going there with a point to prove as well, and for us, it's a perfect game. With a nice week. Thinking about being champions and all that. But as I say, we've been back in 2 days training, and everybody feels good, everybody's looking good and ready for the game.
That came back in December. There were changes in personnel. So how do you use that as motivation for Sunday?
Yeah, I think obviously we'll probably be in a better place in terms of team selection than what we were that day. But that's why we've got a big squad, and I think you learn a lot from days like that, and I think that's been the case for us since the turn of the year. We've not lost a game, and I think we've conceded 3 goals, so it shows that that day has helped us as well. You learn a lot in defeat, so as I said, for us, we're really looking forward to it. We're a point to prove.
What surprised you most about Rangers that game at Ibrox in December?
I think just the intensity they played with. Obviously we've been there before. We good experiences there, and I think that's the first time we'd obviously went there with the majority of fans being Rangers fans. So I think we probably get caught cold that day in terms of the atmosphere, and it shouldn't happen, but I think human nature kicks in, and you think it's a bit louder than normal. So I think now we know what we're going to experience, what we're walking into, and as I say, we'll probably be in a better place in terms of team selection as well.
Could you hear your fans at all?
No, really. No, I think I think our plan was to go and try and start well, and try and silence the crowd. But Rangers started really well on the front foot and played with good intensity, and then I think from then on it was difficult for us to get back into the game. So that's something that we need to try and learn from, and obviously try and start the game a bit better.
You started left back that day. Was that a frustration for you, given that you'd been further up the field before that?
Obviously it's not ideal, but I think obviously the changes that had to happen that day, then when you're asked to go and play somewhere else, then you just try and give your best for the team, and obviously ideally you'd want to play in the middle, but as I say, we were struggling with a few injuries and boys away and things like that, so you just go and play where you're asked to play.
And of course, when you went up the park, you had the ball in the net and created a few things. Is that a what-if situation for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's always the way when these things work out. Then like I say, you scored at the other end, and people say, if you'd have played in the middle, it might have been a different game. And so football's like that. It's kind of hypothetically you can say anything might have happened, but I just think it's important for us, to learn from that day and obviously go into the game on Sunday with confidence.
Would you expect a tougher title challenge from Rangers next season?
I think so. I think they've made reasonably good progress this year in terms of being in the league. They've been a wee bit more consistent recently, but I think for us, we just go again in the summer, come back with recoup, rest up, and by the time we come back in summer we're ready to go again, and we've got to take confidence that we've got that 8 in a row. We try and push on again, and it's another massive title for us, this one, to get to it.
Do you think Sunday's game sets down a marker for next year? Either will there be a real title challenge from Rangers, or will Celtic just continue to be dominant?
Yeah, I think you can probably look at it that way. Obviously these games, whoever wins them, then they always feel a lot better about themselves. So I think if that's the case, and we go there and win, then everyone will be saying, "Oh, Celtic are still in front." There's still a bit of work to be done, but I think over the course of the season, the 38 games, then the best team always wins the league. So the table doesn't lie in terms of that. So I think over the season you've got to be consistent. It's not just about these one-off sort of Rangers Celtic games that can define the season. I think over the course, it's the Wednesday nights up at St Johnstone that they're the ones that you have to grind out and make sure you get results in.
Callum, I think you said after the victory at Celtic Park that given it was at your own ground, you could exploit Rangers' lack of discipline. Is that something you think you could do at Ibrox?
I think the atmosphere will always be charged in these games, so I think it's about who keeps their temperament the best on the day, and that generally depends on what the result's going to be. So for us, we've just got to keep our discipline as we always have. Keep 11 men on the pitch, and see where that takes us come the end of the game.
Obviously there was scenes at the end of the game. The police always visit the two clubs. Has there been an extra cautionary message from them ahead of this one?
I think there will be. I think they'll probably be up tomorrow. So I would imagine so. As you said, a wee bit of backlash off the last game. So there'll probably be a wee extra message just to say, like, try and contain yourself as much as you can. But we all know these fixtures. Everyone can get a bit carried away in terms of the emotion of the game and things like that. But it's just important that the players try and stay professional as they can, really.
And just going back to that point of whether an opposition team shows a mark of respect or not to the champions, does it bother players?
I don't think so. No, as I say, we've not spoke about it this week, so I think we know, we've deserved to be the champions, and I think that's enough for us in there. We know how difficult it is to get over the line. Every season we manage to do it, and I think that's enough for us. We don't need anyone else to sort of pat us on the back. We know that it's a job well done.
Can I ask you about two of your former teammates, Victor Wanyama and Virgil van Dijk? You played with them both here at Celtic, both gone on to reach the Champions League final this week. When you played with them, did you think that was the kind of heights that they would reach?
I think so. I think you could see, obviously their quality, especially Virgil was outstanding every week. He pretty much strolled it, every single game, and I think everyone knew, within this building that he would go down and make a real impact. So, there's no real surprise that these two guys are playing in the Champions League final. They're top players.
And what has happened the last two nights in the Champions League, does that make you as a player even more hungrier for Champions League football at Celtic next season?
Yeah, definitely. You see the reaction of both the games, and anything can happen in football where it just throws up these sort of crazy nights and the emotion and everything. So sitting watching it, there's nothing more you want to be on the pitch and experiencing that. So I think all the players will tell you the same, that we're desperate to try and get back in.
Any plan of action in terms of preparation post the season, and with a view to the Scotland games and the Champions League qualifiers, in terms of your own rest and training or what have you?
Yeah, I think once the cup final's done, then I'll take a few days holiday, and even if I'm away, I'll go to the gym, do a wee bit just to keep myself ticking. But I think you need that sort of 4 or 5 days where your body doesn't do anything, and you sort of rest mentally as well. And after that, we know obviously we've got the Scotland games as well. They're two massive games for the country. So I think wherever I'll be doing some sort of ticking over and getting ready for the games.
Doesn't give you much time at all, does it? Just to rest completely, physically and mentally.
Yeah, exactly. That's just part of the schedule. Obviously, ideally you would like that sort of 3-4 weeks break or whatever it would be, and you'd be totally sort of resting and ready to come back in. But that's just the schedule, and you need to get your body right for the games.
Callum, can I ask you about the VAR? We've got a piece on our website from Callum saying he thinks it'll limit controversy. That would be a good thing. Can I get your personal take on the video assistant referee? What you make of it?
Yeah, you know, I think it's good in certain situations. You know, you watch them and it's a clear, it's an offside, then I think it's good in that term. But I also think as well that it's still open to debate, it's still open to human error, because you know the referee's still got to make the decision, even though he watches the video, and you know it could be millimetres of offside or a handball that's, you know, the arm's not quite in the right position. It's still open to interpretation. So I think in terms of that side of it, then there's still going to be open to a wee bit of controversy that way.
And if and when it comes to Scotland, can you envisage a situation where you might not celebrate a goal because you're not sure what's going to happen? In your mind, would it change the dynamic for players on the pitch?
Yeah, but I think you can sort of see that. You know, obviously the probably the biggest profile one was the Man City Tottenham game, where, you know, Sterling's went and celebrated, and then, you know, both managers are not really sure what's happening. So I think in the heat of the game, if you score, you know, you're automatically going to go and celebrate, and it just sort of gives you that both sides of the spectrum in terms of the emotion, that you could be up there 1 minute and then it's disallowed or whatever at the other end, and obviously you'll be disappointed. So like I say, I think it's a good thing, it can be used properly, but also there's still that element of human error as well.
Just one final one, just go back to that, when you had to play left back at Ibrox, when that decision's made by the manager, is there any player involvement in that, either pre or during the game? Would you approach your captain and say, maybe I should be further up?
No, I think, you know, obviously the manager makes the decisions, and you know, I spoke to obviously Brendan before the game, and you know, he's been quite happy with me in there before, and you know, he just gave me that confidence to say, like, go, you've done it before, you'll be fine, you know, go and enjoy the game. So there's no, in terms of any tactical decision coming for the player, or I don't want to play there, or whatever. You know, you go and play where the manager wants you to play, and he makes the decision, and you just do your best for the team. So I think whenever I've been asked to do that, that's what I've tried to do.
Obviously we'll find out on Sunday if Kieran's fit or not, but would you step into that role again if needed?
Yeah, of course. You know, if you're asked to go and play there and, you know, help the team, then, you know, I'll do anything to help the team, as I've always said.
Callum, in terms of these big derbies, have you got a favourite Celtic Rangers memory and a least favourite?
I think the 5-0 game at Celtic Park, you know, we won the league, obviously coming into that big game, and obviously, you know, how well we performed in that day, then that's probably been my favourite. You know, scored in it as well and things like that, so it was brilliant, it was a good time. And probably the least favourite one was the one in December.
Could you have to play left back?
No, I just think in terms of their performance on the day, you know, we just didn't do ourselves justice. There's been games before where it's been, you know, level, but I just think in that game we never showed what we were all about, and you know, that's been disappointing. But you know, we've got a chance to put it right Sunday, so hopefully that's the case.
Have you got anything you do for these games, any rituals, anything you do differently, or is it another game?
Yeah, I think you just prepare the same way. You know, every game is a big game for Celtic, and you know, you've got to prepare properly, mentally, physically, and you'll be ready to come kick off.
Okay.
Cheers.